Today I'm going to talk about Guerrilla RF's cable TV offering. If you have a large enough bandwidth where you're kind of concerned about the second order, definitely these are perfect parts for that. Absolutely perfect parts. We have reference bores designed for 50 ohms, both in the single-ended and balanced. Uh, the parts are designed close to being able to just drop in for 50 ohms, but they're going to require some circuit changes. The single-ended will require feedback to get really under like 10 dB or under return loss. I think right now you probably can end up with 9 dB worse if you just didn't want to use feedback. So the application circuit changes are just slightly matching, and maybe with some feedback, you're going to get better return loss, and you might lower the gain of the part slightly. So, for example, if you're looking at using the 9460, it still operates to 3 gigahertz and 50 ohm. In fact, I think you could probably push out just a little bit further. I haven't really tested it, but from what I've seen in the lab, just doing some experiments, it looks like you probably could, with the right match, push it out just slightly above 3 gigahertz. And with feedback, the P1s are actually a little bit better. The gain drops from like 17 dB to maybe 16 dB. And if you put feedback, it might go like 15 and a half at 50, but it still has up tilt and it's still flat, and it has really excellent linearity performance from what I've tested so far. We're looking at doing some of the same work with the push pulls, right? So I think I've only looked at one push pull so far. I have to do some more work on it, but it's the same story. We're looking at slightly lower gain to get the matching, and it still is flat, and it still has really good linearity. So that basically would be the trade-offs. So if you go to 50 ohm, you'd expect a little bit lower gain, pretty much the same or better linearity, and you can get the return loss matching as you need it. Right now, we're working with a specific balun company that has a DC feed capable balun. So you can actually, even for return path and forward path, you can actually just put your bias current through the balun. You don't need any inductors, feed inductors on either side. That cuts down on the component count drastically, and it cuts down on the actual circuit size drastically. So you can have a much smaller compact circuit, and you don't need the feed inductors. So right now, we're with all the blocking caps and the feedback, and the bypassing, we're looking at probably 15 components external for like passive components minus the balance, because you need those no matter what or who you're using. So we're looking at maybe 15 components max. The 50 ohm boards are going to be slightly different. They're going to have higher component counts right now. I'm working with a balun manufacturer to be able to do the same thing in 50 ohms that they do in 75, to be able to have the current going through the balun, so you can just feed it through the balun. And once we get those in, we can reduce the component count. But right now, with the baluns that are available for 50 ohm, you actually need two feed inductors. Right now, we're using two 0603 ferrite beads, which are smaller, more compact, and they actually have better broadband performance for the output for the DC feeds for 50 ohms.
Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like more information, please email us at sales@guerrilla-rf.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content from Guerrilla RF.